is Golf Talk Canada, presented by TaylorMade. Golf has a new game-changing number. Experience TaylorMade speed with the forgiveness of 10K inertia with the all-new QI10 Max, only from TaylorMade. Visit TaylorMadeGolf.ca to learn more about the QI10 Carbon Woods. And by Picton Mahoney Asset Management. For over 18 years, our focus has been on helping Canadians stay invested in all market conditions, including this one.
Hello and welcome inside Golf Talk Canada. I'm Adam Scully. Today is our Portugal Travel Special. Last month, I went to Portugal with our friends from Golf Away Tours and several club professionals across Canada for a trip of a lifetime. Over the next hour, we'll recap our unbelievable experience enjoying some of the top golf courses in Portugal, as well as delicious local cuisine and great hotels. Plus, we'll tell you how you can plan your bucket list trip with Golf Away Tours. So, early in March, we flew out of Toronto thanks to TAP Airlines and landed in Lisbon. From there, we drove an hour to our first destination, Troia Golf. For much more, here's their golf director, Alexander Barrasso.
All right, Alexander, we're here in Troia. We're about to tee off on our Portugal travel adventure. What should we be expecting when we go on the golf course today?
Okay, this is a Robert Trent Jones design, very tight, very compact, with a lot of sand. You're gonna find very small greens. You need to think from the tee what you're gonna do on the hole. The good thing for me, the best thing on the golf course is that you don't have very similar holes to each other. Most of the holes they are different, so you need to use your skills and strategy to understand what's going on every time. Don't rest because the golf gonna hit you back.
Okay, so you mentioned a lot of different holes here. If you could pick a signature hole here, what would it be?
The third hole, it's not for me. It's from the architect Robert Trent Jones Sr. Put the third hole on the list of the best 18 holes he ever designed. So what is good on that? You can play from the left side, more aggressive line. It's kind of an island on the left side. You need to pass. You need a big carry. If you play to the right side, it's more open, but it's a little bit down, and you have a bunkering face in the front of you when you're hitting the second shot to the green, the approach to the green. So yeah, so you have some options. On top of that, you have a great view from the ocean and the Arabian mountain.
Okay, looking forward to playing the third hole and every hole today for that matter. But you mentioned Robert Trent Jones Sr. there. What does it mean for someone as world-renowned as him to list the third hole here as one of the best holes he's ever designed? Because this guy's designed hundreds of unbelievable golf courses around the world.
Yes, true. And for us, it's an honor that he choose one hole here in Troia to be part on that list. On top of that, for us, and then for me especially, one of the things that I love on this design from him, it's that he took the best of nature that we have here. There were no big movementations of the earth, nothing. He just pick up the dunes and he, just draw it along the dunes, the heavy hole, and yeah, it's very special.
So very special here, and already you mentioned this a little earlier, but the green complexes, would you say the green complexes or missing the fairway? Which is more penal?
Well, it's a good one. I would say it's from the tee to the fairway. Okay. If you position well the ball with the first shot, then you have half of the thing done. But well, first time you're gonna play, you're gonna see it how it is important to think from the tee.
Okay, that's so interesting. Okay, let's talk about where we are. So we just got off a flight, most of us from Toronto to Lisbon, about hour and a half drive. But I understand that it's possible to get here via ferry too. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, if you arrive at the airport and you come straight from Lisbon to Setúbal, which is the next town just on the other side of the river, you take like 45 minutes. And then you have a ferry that comes every hour, and it takes you 25 minutes. It's a very pleasant boat trip. Or you can come by catamaran, which is passengers only, which is 15 minutes. That is a big plus, and you're gonna feel it tonight when you're gonna have dinner in the hotel. Then if you want to go to the town, you have every hour a catamaran crossing, and it's 15 minutes, and you are in the middle of quite big town. Quite big town. So it's good to go to have dinner, to go a bar. Yes, it's a big option.
Okay, big option for sure. Now, we'll get to the hotel here shortly, but I understand the clubhouse was also redesigned, what, 20 years ago? Is that right?
Almost, yeah, 18 years ago.
So tell us about the upgrades that the clubhouse has now.
Well, we have a good room upstairs for events or for big groups if you want to have, with a great balcony over the putting green and the first tee. Then you have the bar and halfway bar that everybody passed from the 9s to the 10 to the bar. So if you want to have a quick beer or a snack to go on. So for us it's very comfortable, and the way that it was built is also very workable for us in the staff. So we have the buggies under the clubhouse, so it's easy to go up and bring the buggies to the customers. So yeah, more flexible.
Okay, well, if you're heading to Portugal, come check out Troy. Alexander, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, shortly after our round of golf at Troya, we were still obviously a little jet-lagged after a very long travel day. Well, after a short shuttle, we entered the Troya Design Hotel. Talk about world class. Let's learn all about this 5-star resort with General Manager Victor Copio.
We are located in a beautiful peninsula south of Lisbon, facing the Atlantic and the Sado River. We all of the piece of our collection are from Portuguese painters, architects, designers, and sculptors. Over here we have our most iconic piece of our collection, which is Cinderella Shoe, by the author of Joana Vasconcelos. Is made with more than 150 pans and pots. And talking a bit about the hotel, we are a 5-star property with 236 business and accommodation units, from studios to T3 apartments. Aside the hotel, we have a huge facility for Congress for 1,000 delegates. In the back we have another exhibition center for additional 600, and also a casino. So it's quite an impressive property, and that's worth a visit.
Well, we've just stepped in here moments ago, and our rooms are very cool. So what would you say is your busy season at the hotel?
Well, it depends on the segment that we are dealing with, but having in mind that we are in a beautiful place, in a beautiful peninsula, with beautiful beaches all over, we have a huge and high season, which is facing and during summer. You know, so it's quite popular, our hotel, for the Portuguese segment, for families. So I would say that from June to mid-September, it's our peak season for FITs, for the leisure segment. And on the other parts of the year, we do quite well in the MICE segments due to the facilities that we have aside the hotel that I've mentioned you before.
And okay, so I want to ask you, so families coming here, I understand 2 restaurants
We
here?
have 3 restaurants.
Okay.
We have 3 restaurants on overall. One of these restaurants is a seasonal restaurant that it's the opening. It collides with the opening of the facilities on the 3rd floor, which is our outside terrace, where we have the pool, the outside pool, the kids club, and the indoor heated pool.
Well, it's an unbelievable facility. Looking forward to spending a couple of days here. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, we're just getting started here on our Portugal travel special. Coming up next, we'll continue to profile some great courses in Portugal with some remarkable variety too. This is Golf Talk Canada.
This segment of Golf Talk Canada was brought to you by Picton Mahoney Asset Management. For over 18 years, our focus has been on helping Canadians stay invested in all market conditions, including this one. Why Picton Mahoney? Visit pictonmahoney.com. This is Golf Talk Canada, presented by Picton Mahoney Asset Management. This segment of GTC is brought to you by Play Golf Myrtle Beach, home to 80 great courses, 60 miles of sandy shores, endless dining and entertainment. Visit playgolfmyrtlebeach.com to start planning your golf trip today.
Welcome back inside our Portugal Travel Special. Next up for us was Comporta Dunas, a course that just opened in October. For much more on this new golf course, here's Rodrigo Ulrich.
All right, we just got off the golf course at Comportas Dunas, and what can I say? It was a treat to be out here and play earlier today. But for someone who isn't here right now, who wants to eventually come here, tell us about this exciting new golf course.
Well, we just opened the golf course on the 5th of October last year. It's brand new. It's a David McRae-Kidd design. It's the first McRae-Kidd golf course in mainland Europe. It's a pure links, wide fairways. It's a not easy golf course, you would have seen. It's a challenging golf course, but it's fair. And we hope to have more guests as time moves on.
And it is a very new golf course, and I understand there were some stops and starts with COVID, etc. Tell our audience a little about that.
Well, when we were building the course, we re-engaged David McRae-Kidd in 2020 because the project stopped in 2014. And when we re-engaged David, COVID started. So David, we had to find a special license, permission from the Portuguese embassies for David to come to Portugal. And some flights, he was almost alone on the flight, and customs couldn't believe that. Why are you here? So all the paperwork. But anyway, we got it done.
You got it done for sure. And a couple of one person in particular from our group has played here now. Today was the third time, and he was raving about the condition of the golf course, how it continues to get better and better and better each time. What are the challenges behind doing that, especially for such a new golf course?
The golf course, she's alive, so it just needs time. It needs time to settle, time to grow. Our team needs time to continue to improve the knowledge on the fescue. We have a great team behind us with João Machado. But I think our permanent ambition to surpass the client's expectations, we always want to improve. It's part of our DNA. So, and I'm over the moon that somebody that played already 3 times the golf course, almost as many times as I have, to notice that the evolution of that makes my day. Thank you.
Yeah, he was talking about maybe getting a property here in the Portugal area, which is pretty funny, and it's a great facility now. This has already been recognized for some world-renowned awards. So you mentioned being happy about how our Ron from Golf Away Tours has played here 3 times. But what's it like for you to see this golf course already recognized the way it has been?
Makes me immensely proud of this team and their commitment and focus day in, day out to get the golf course in the condition that you can see now.
Yeah, it's simply awesome. So let's look ahead here. There's a golf academy in the works, other projects in the works. What do you fill our listeners, our viewers in on what's coming next here?
So we're going to have the base for the pros, the studios for the pros. We reached an agreement with True Golf that they're going to digitalize the golf course, so we're also going to have a simulator here. And you can actually be here and playing Dunas, which is unique. And then we are now the final process of engaging, of course, an English-speaking pro I would say the next 18 to 24 months are going to be very, very exciting. Come and experience the ride with us.
Yeah, definitely come experience the ride with us. And as of right now, 18 holes open, but I understand another 18 is on the way. How's that process going thus far?
It's the first Sergio Garcia golf course. It's a true players course. It's just 10 minutes away, and perhaps you should come to try it next March before it opens.
Okay, so maybe we'll be back here next March, but what are the expectations in terms of the differences between where we're standing right now and the Sergio Garcia course opening next month or next March?
I believe this course is an architecture masterpiece by David. I think David, and it's very refreshing to see that David really enjoys his course, which is amazing. He comes here, he sends his guests here to play, his friends, which is very good. The Sergio Garcia is, it's different. It's a course made by a golf player that's still playing, very active. So he's always asking questions. So are you going to go straight, or are you going to cut the corner and whack one straight to the green? Multiple times he asks this question, and it's a stunning location. And I think the world is not expecting such the quality of this golf course, because it's Garcia. For me, I'm a huge fan of Sergio Garcia, and I think it's also an exceptional golf course. But championship definitely, but with the first Sergio Garcia Golf Academy in Portugal, so that's also going to be a very strong point.
After the round, we experienced Comporta. Check out these incredible views on the beach. Then we enjoyed a wine tasting at the historic Quinta Breno da Costa. Our Portugal travel special continues next.
This is Golf Talk Canada, presented by TaylorMade. This segment of GTC is brought to you by Cadillac's all-electric vehicles that get you in the game. From the Lyric to the first ever Escalade IQ, there will be a Cadillac EV icon for you.
Welcome back to the show. Our Portugal travel adventure continues with a ferry ride into Lisbon. Then we got to go on a tuk-tuk tour of Lisbon while taking in the sights and some of the great history and views in the Lisbon area before making a stop at the Monte Mar restaurant.
Our adventure here in the Portugal area brings us to the Monte Mar restaurant, and all I can say is wow, what an experience we just had. Before we get into what we just experienced, because it was amazing, just walk us through the location and whereabouts where we currently are right now.
So we are in Lisbon, in the heart of Lisbon, with a wonderful view to the river. And this is a place, location that took us a long time to find, because it has great view to the most iconic bridge in Lisbon, 25th of April bridge, and wonderful view to the other side of the river that has this statue that's super important to us.
And how long has the restaurant been here?
So this one is our Monte Mar number 3. This one opened 8 years ago. The first one is already more than 30 years. So we opened Monte Mar Cascais, the first Monte Mar, a couple more than 30 years ago. We are, the ADN of our group is golf resort, so we have a golf resort in Cascais. My father is the founder of the group, so he noticed that foreigners who visit our golf resort, they do have fresh fish, so we first opened the restaurant in Cascais, and a couple of years after, we noticed that most of our Portuguese clients were coming from Lisbon, and they were kind of putting pressure on us to open in Lisbon. But we couldn't find a location. It took us a long time to open here. So open 8 years ago we did.
Wow, right on. And so we got a full tour of Lisbon prior to coming to the restaurant here, and the history behind Lisbon, everything is remarkable. What does it mean for you to have this restaurant in such a great location where people like us who are tourists or locals can come in really and have a really cool food experience?
It's great because Lisbon in Cascais is just 30 minutes away, and Lisbon is much more cosmopolitan. Is a city that is being discovered again 500 years after. People from the four corners of the world are coming to Lisbon again, so it's great to be here.
Now that is a meal I'll never forget. Lisbon is a beautiful area, so easy to get to. A flight just under 7 hours direct from Toronto. Here's a look at the famous Pink Street in Lisbon too. Next up on our adventure, the Palacio Ludovice Wine Experience Hotel.
We are here at the Palacio Ludovice in beautiful Lisbon, and we just got a tour of what a remarkable facility this is. Teresa, let's start with you. For someone who hasn't been here before, what will they experience when they first walk into this place?
Well, thank you very much for being here and having this opportunity to explain a little bit of this perfect gem in Lisbon. The experience and the feeling people have when coming into Ludovice, it's quite unique, and the surprise of entering a palace that is over 300 years and has so much to tell, and you can feel it the moment you look at the walls, you see the tiles, you see the ceilings, the original architecture of the building. It kind of immerses you into the beginning of its wonderful history, basically.
And there's a ton of great history here that we learned all about, and it is there's many rooms here as well. Why don't you tell our listeners and viewers about some of the different rooms that are here?
So, as I had the opportunity to mention to you earlier, this was the private house of Mr. Ludovice. So, being a private house, the 61 rooms are quite unique, each and every one of them. So, we have rooms that are not only in terms of size and architecture different, but also in terms of the decoration itself. Some are green, some are blue, some are pink and beige. And we have two very special rooms that actually were the old kitchens of the palace, and you really need to come and see the wonderful Portuguese tiles, floor to ceiling, to really appreciate those rooms. And that's it. You really don't have two rooms that are absolutely equal, because each area, each space had to be adapted into a beautiful and unique room. And that's what guests have the opportunity to experience. We actually have two rooms that are the Ludovice Prestige. This is our best room, although they're all amazing, I must say. But the Ludovice Prestige it's actually the biggest. It's approximately 65 square meters, and it's been recognized by the Royal Report magazine in the United States at the end of the year as one of the 50 best hotel suites in the world, and we couldn't be prouder, of course.
And as you should be, we got to look at it, we got to walk around it. It took a long time to actually walk around the whole room because it's so big. So that was really cool. And something that we are about to experience is a little wine tasting. And let's go to you first. So how many different kinds of wine are here right now?
Well, so Portugal as a whole, although it's not very well known, you can expect very different experiences from all throughout the country. We are rich in very little microclimates all around the country and a lot of grapes as well. Portugal has the highest native count of grapes in the world, 264. Just for you to know, that is the same amount as Germany, France, Italy, and Spain all combined. Okay, here. Now the wine experience that you're going to have is, of course, a little brief explanation of every single wine region in Portugal, along with some wines to taste, of course. That wouldn't be a wine tasting without them. And, of course, all to have fun, a little bit more of an educational experience for everyone. And, yeah, that's usually what we do in the hotel. Every single guest at the hotel has a free wine tasting just to understand a little bit more about Portugal, which is our aim in the hotel, is to show off a little bit of an old world country that is on this little square, but not very well known outside, and that's our aim, at least here in the restaurant.
Well, if you're heading to Portugal, the Palacio Ludovice is a place you have to come and check out and stay. Guys, thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Quite the experience at the Palacio Ludovice Wine Experience Hotel. When we come back on our Portugal travel special, we take an in-depth look at another gem of a golf course, Praia del Rey.
This is Golf Talk Canada, presented by Picton Mahoney Asset Management. This segment of GTC is brought to you by Cobble Beach, Georgian Bay's extraordinary waterfront golf resort community. To learn more about their award-winning golf course and growing community, visit cobblebeach.com today.
Welcome back inside our Portugal travel special. I'm Adam Scully. Well, after a day off the course, we were back at it playing another brilliant property, Praia del Rey. For much more, here's Francisco Cadet.
Just off the golf course at Praia del Rey alongside Francisco here, and what a test that was, Praia del Rey. For someone who hasn't been here before, how would you describe the test that we just had out here?
Well, the test you had today, it was a bit windy. It was not too hot, not too cold. It's, I would say, pleasant to play golf. It's a great test of golf. You have some holes close to the sea, some holes on the pines, a huge variety of the holes. So it's very pleasant to play.
I love that you said a variety of holes there, because to me, there were times that felt like we were in America. Sometimes it felt like we were in other portions of Europe. At times it felt like we were in Ireland, especially with the weather we had today on some of the dunes there along the cliffs. We in Canada have Cabot Links, Cabot Cliffs, world-renowned golf courses. And some of those holes right along the coast, they really felt like that.
Yeah, that's one of the main, I would say, big points of Praia del Rey. It's the holes close to the sea. From the green of 12 until the 15, you have that coast. It's amazing, and it's every day it's different. You have the waves. You are really close to the sea. It's a pitching wedge into the waves, and it's what makes this thing special. It's like being in California or maybe in Oregon, where nowadays there are some good golf courses.
I totally agree, and people have to come check out this place because it was certainly awesome. So you mentioned a couple of reasons there, but in your mind, what makes this golf course at Praia del Rey a must-attend for someone, let's say watching this show right now, to come and play?
I would say it's the variety, as I said before. Every hole is different. Every hole plays different 2 days in a row because the wind is different, the colors are different, and we have some short holes, some long holes. It's a fantastic golf course, I would say.
It certainly is a fantastic golf course, and Praia del Rey has been recognized as well for a couple of awards in terms of prestige in golf in Europe. What's it like for you seeing Praia del Rey recognized that way?
Oh, it was amazing. We opened in 1997, and in 2006 we were elected the best resort in Europe by IACTO. And since then it's been booming every single year, apart from the COVID, of course. But we have clients from all over the world. We are 100 kilometers north of Lisbon, and our clientele, it's 95% from foreigners. People live here, people come to spend a week on playing golf, and all over the year, because in the summer it's not too hot, in the winter it's not particularly cold. We have some rain, of course, but nothing special also. So it's being on the rankings and being recognized as good golf courses give us a lot of clients and repeated clients also.
As you should. I'm looking forward to getting back here as well. And you guys also have a great junior golf program here too. Tell us about the importance of that for the future.
It's very important because first it's a way to link the community with the golf. We are not on a region that golf was originally a sport, so we are here since 25 years, and there's still a gap between the community and the golf course. So having the junior program brings the kids from the schools, from the surroundings, to the golf course. Also, having some kids on the junior school who are doing well on the rankings, national rankings, it's nice because it gives name to the golf course. It's important. Giving people, especially in Portugal, we don't have that many players. It's important to have the junior school and bring people to the golf courses.
Talk about beautiful golf courses. Really enjoyed Praia del Rey. When we come back here on Golf Talk Canada, we'll take a look at West Cliffs.
This segment of GTC was brought to you by Movember, the official men's health partner of Golf Talk Canada. You can get involved and help change the face of men's health by visiting Movember.com today. This is Golf Talk Canada, presented by TaylorMade. This segment of GTC is brought to you by PGA Tour Americas, an international springboard for future golf stars.
Well, next up on our Portugal travel adventure was Westcliffs, designed by Cynthia Dye, the first Dye course in Portugal and fourth overall in Europe. Let's learn all about Westcliffs.
All right, talking Westcliffs now with Francisco. And Francisco, for someone who hasn't been to Westcliffs, we recently spoke about Praia del Rey. What would you say the differences between Westcliffs and Praia del Rey?
Well, they are completely different. Praia del Rey, I would say, is a mature course. Westcliffs, it's a new course. It's still a bit wild, and it's going to be always wild the way it was built. 5 kilometers away from Praia, so it's a good combination, the two courses. And it's also a great test of golf. I would say in terms of beauty, Westcliffs is nicest than Praia del Rey. Praia del Rey is maybe more pleasant to play on a daily basis. Right. Westcliffs is a bit more tough, but if you choose the right tees to play, it's also very fun.
Looking forward to getting out and playing Westcliffs. So you mentioned a newer course. Just how new is it?
It opened in 2017, in June. Mm-hmm. So it have 5 years, 5 years now.
6 years. 6 years now, okay. And I understand that Cynthia Dye helped design Westcliffs. What's it like to have someone with the Dye name, that history, that tradition, everything that goes with the Dye family be involved in a course like Westcliffs?
For us, it's an honor to have a Dye on the signing that golf course. Cynthia Dye was the first choice from the previous owner to design Westcliffs, and the property was sold, and the new owners decided to keep the name because have a Dye name on a golf course, it's also a sign of recognition.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, that's amazing. I'm looking forward to getting out there now. When we discussed Praia del Rey, seaside views, mesmerizing views, that was a theme, and I understand at Westcliffs the same can be said too.
It's a bit different. Okay. At Praia del Rey, we have maybe 7 holes where you see the sea. Mm-hmm. In Westcliffs, you have sea views on every single hole. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit further than Praia del Rey from the sea, but in terms of views, it's amazing. It's very, very nice.
Now we're here with a number of golf professionals who are in Canada. But how would you say the playability is at Westcliffs, whether you're a golf professional or whether you're just starting the game, whether you're a 20 handicap? What's the playability like at Westcliffs?
Well, comparing to Praia, it's more difficult than Praia. Mm-hmm. It's shorter. It's not very long. But if you are a pro, you play from the back tees and you have a great test of golf. If you are a 20 handicappers, you play from the 55, which means 5,500 meters long, and you have a great test of golf. If you are a beginner, you play from the 49, which is shorter. You don't have almost any carry to reach the fairways, and you still enjoyed it. So the main thing at Westcliffs is to pick the right tee, the tee which is adjusted for you, and not just thinking, I'm a man, I can play from the 59. You won't enjoy it. But if you choose the right tee, you have fun, and you enjoyed it. Being a Dye course, the greens are, I would say, tricky, with a lot of runoffs, so you need to know. First time, maybe you don't like it as much. Mm-hmm. Second time, third time, you know where to play. You can check the pin positions. You know I play right or left of the pin, and you start to having birdies and enjoying the golf course. So maybe you score better knowing the golf course at Westcliffs than at Praia, but you need to know it.
Now, Westcliffs, you mentioned 2017, and it was recognized as one of the world's best new courses as well in 2017. What's that like for you, seeing that?
Wow, again, open the golf course and the first year being recognized as the best new course in the world, it was amazing. With the care we had during the constructions, all the questions regarding the environment and everything. So it was very nice to deal with it, and was one of the reasons why we were recognized. Then the place, it's amazing, as you will see tomorrow. The views, everything, so it was great. And since then, being on the top of the rankings in Portugal as one of the best, or in some rankings the best, gives us a lot of notability, and people are coming. And this region is amazing. Pradaroy, West Cliffs, there's 2 other courses on the region, so it's a golf destination.
It certainly is a golf destination. We can't to get out and play at West Cliffs. Francisco, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Well, after our round at West Cliffs, we headed to the Quinta de Sanguinal. A great story here, tons of family history, and hey, this wine is available here in Canada. Check out our interview at this winery on our YouTube channel, our Portugal Travel Special. Well, it continues next.
This is Golf Talk Canada, presented by Picton Mahoney Asset Management. This segment of GTC is brought to you by WeatherTech Canada, Canada's leader in automotive accessories.
Welcome back. Royal Obidos was next up on our Portugal travel adventure. Seve Ballesteros designed this golf course. Unfortunately, he tragically passed away shortly after he designed it. For much more on this brilliant golf course, here's golf director Pedro Castello Branco.
We are in Óbidos. Óbidos is 1 hour away from Lisbon in a highway, so it's a quite an easy travel. And we are now in an area, the center of Portugal, where 3 more golf courses are here. So this has become, in the last 4 or 5 years, this has become quite a good golf destination.
Yeah, I totally agree about the golf destination, and we got to play some incredible golf while we were in Portugal. But you mentioned Seve Ballesteros, and obviously he's tragically no longer with us. But when people think Royal Obidos, they think Seve Ballesteros. How special is that to you? How much meaning is that to have someone who had such an incredible impact both on and off the golf course design this property and golf course?
Well, it is really a name, in the golf universe. It's a name that either you entered the golf universe 1 year ago or 50 years ago. This is a name that is part of it, and everyone knows. And I think he, not only that, but also his course, the design of this course. It shows quite well how good he knew the game, because it's a course that I can make it quite difficult. And for example, I'll give you an example. We host the Challenge Tour event for 4 years now. We will host it 2 more years. And during that week, you will find a completely different course in terms of the difficulty and setup that you will find on our day-by-day with tourists and higher handicaps. So it's a course that you can play with it and make it, adapt it to the user, to the player. You understand? So it's a long course, but fair. If you miss a shot, you are not out of the hole is not finished. So it's fair in that way. But then we can make it, a bit more challenging or less challenging, depending on the clients we have.
Well, the final course on the trip, Oitavos Dunes, designed by American architect Arthur Hills. It's hosted the Open de Portugal 4 times, and it's in a great location too. Let's learn all about Oitavos with Miguel Montes Chapamod.
I would describe the golf course as the best of 2 worlds. We could describe the golf course as a links experience with a little bit of parkland golf course as well, but always with the sun out. Cascais, the region we are based in, it's 20 miles, maybe 22 miles from Lisbon Airport, Lisbon city center. So we are far yet close from the city center. We are in a secluded place where we have Sintra Mountain with the surrounding golf course. It's a lengthy experience, but also it has in a few holes a little bit of a parkland experience. So it's kind of a mix, and you always want to get back. It's challenging, yet doable. But you have a hard time, but a good time at the same time, if you know what I mean, playing this course.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. And Otavos has had the honor of hosting the Portuguese Open a number of times now. What's that like for you guys hosting a tournament of that magnitude?
It is good. Also, in addition to that, we hosted the seniors tour, the ladies tour as well, and of course some private events for international brands that use Portugal to host their private events. But getting back to the Open of Portugal was definitely a good possibility for Itavos to showcase what it was back in the day when we opened and people didn't know what Itavos Dunes was. But most people didn't know what Cascais as a region that was offering golf was. And this being capable to host such an international event was good to put Cascais and the Lisbon region and more in detail Oitavos in the people in the vision that people that would like to come and play golf. Now from that point onwards, people start to listen. Okay, Cascais, Lisbon, there's a fine golf course there. I want to go and see this place because the place where this golf course is situated, this is not a massified tourism destination. Okay, this is a residential area for let's say Cascais and the place where the golf course is based. It's the if not the most premium residential area in the whole country. It's a top 3 most premium residential area in the area. On top of the residents in the residential area, there are some hotels, but this is not, and it will never be a massified tourism destination. This is a mix of a residential area with a little bit of tourism.
To watch the full interviews of all of the courses and hotels we visited in Portugal, check out our YouTube channel. Coming up next, we speak to the man behind Golf Away Tours, TJ Rule, who will tell you how you can plan your bucket list golf trip of a lifetime.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Sandbagger Hard Seltzer. Sandbagger. Everybody knows one. This is Golf Talk Canada, presented by TaylorMade. This segment of GTC is brought to you by Bushnell Golf, the #1 rangefinder in golf.
Well, so many people to thank for our Portugal Travel Special Golf Away Tours. Ron Judge and TJ Rule, who put this all together along with all of the partners listed. An experience I will simply never forget. To plan your trip of a lifetime, check out golfawaytours.com. For much more, here's TJ Rule.
Here alongside TJ Rule from Golf Away Tours. TJ, it's been a remarkable trip here in Portugal. But for you, what goes into getting trips like this all together?
Well, you know what? A lot of factors, obviously. The golf is always what we focus on. So we always focus on the best golf courses in Portugal, and there's so many great ones. And of course, right behind us here, we have West Cliffs, which we just played in some weather conditions. It's beautiful right now, and it'd be one of the best golf courses here in Portugal. And so we really focus first and foremost on the golf. But there's more to it than just the golf, right? When you come to Portugal, you come here for the food. You come here for the wine. You come here for the great people who, all speak English and make you feel so comfortable. And so even though the golf's spectacular, there's more to it than just that.
So a couple of years ago, now 2.5 years ago, hard to believe, we went to Spain on a similar trip. But how did you decide on Portugal in particular for this group of people?
It really is an emerging destination, right? And it's a destination that not a lot of people know about in terms of golf. And because of courses like this one, West Cliffs, Comporta Dunas, which we played a couple days ago, another course opening up at Comporta, really the quality of golf is really rising in Portugal. And so people know Scotland, Ireland, even Spain. But Portugal really is an emerging destination for golf, and we really wanted to show it off to the pros here that we brought this week.
Now, playing here throughout the round so far, we've seen a variety of different kinds of golf. But in your mind, how would you describe the golf so far here in Portugal?
Well, there really is a variety, and that's a great way to describe it. You know, the first round we played was at Troia, and it's a tighter golf course and really demands some shot making. Then we played Comporta Dunas, which is a new golf course, and is quite a bit wider and more generous, but has some just spectacular holes. 18 great holes, no bad holes out there. And then Praia del Rey here, which was challenging yesterday, right on the coast. West Cliffs today as well. Again, challenging golf courses with the weather conditions that you get. But it really is a great variety. A lot of the properties are very sandy, so they are generally fairly dry and run out, but we've had a bit of wet weather this week. But really a great variety. West Cliffs today was just so challenging, but a lot of fun to play.
So booking trips like this, obviously golf is the focal point, but golf's only 4 or 5 hours a day, perhaps if the pace of play is slower. Then there's the rest of the day to fill out. What have been some of your favorite non-golf activities that you've enjoyed this trip that you'd recommend to people coming to Portugal?
Well, really, the food and wine is really a lot of what people come here for. And we've had a couple great wine tours. We're having another one this afternoon. And the wine here, the Portuguese are very selfish in some ways in that they don't share their wine because they like to keep it to themselves because it's that good. And we're really experiencing that this week. And the wine has been fantastic. We're staying here at the Marriott this week. It has so much to offer in terms of a spa and a lot of other facilities. When we had a great day in Lisbon a couple days ago. We had great walking tours. We had a tuk-tuk tour around town, and there's so much to see in that city. It's a great walking city, so there really is a lot to see besides the golf.
A lot to see besides the golf for sure. Now we're here with a pretty cool group, I would say. How would you describe to our audience the group of guys and gals who are here with us this week?
Well, they're all beauties, aren't they? I mean, we've got 8 golf pros here, PGA Canada pros, and then a couple media members and myself and Ron from Golf Away Tours, and really the group has really gelled well together, and they're all just great people and really good players, and they've really enjoyed the golf, and the camaraderie at night has been great, having some drinks afterwards and some nice glasses of wine, and really we've had just a fantastic week.
Talking about all our rounds, debriefing them, the good shots, the few bad shots that may or may not happen too. But let's say for someone watching this, for someone listening to this who say, hey, I want to come to Portugal. I want to come to a great destination. How do they contact you? Where do they go from there?
Well, you can find us at golfawaytours.com as always, and there's some information there obviously on Portugal and the great courses here, and just call us up. We love talking about it. We love just talking about our experiences here and what we know, and convincing people to come here because it's an awesome destination.
Well, TJ, thanks for your time, and go check out golfawaytours.com to plan your travel adventure of a lifetime. TJ, thank you.
Thanks, Scully.
Really enjoyed my time in Portugal and hope you enjoyed the show today. Thanks so much for joining us today on Golf Talk Canada. And remember, the first good decision for the golf course, well, it always starts in the closet.
Mark, Bob, and Adam's clothing provided by Adidas Golf.